Hiya, we're back in the park. It's one of those rare occasions where in the UK it's actually sunny. I think the last time was probably in the Victorian times, but we've been blessed today with some sun. We're still stuck in the park, but at least it's sunny. So we've got the Mavic Air back out, or the Air 2. Basically, we haven't flown this drone for a little while now. It's probably our best drone, but we haven't flown this drone for ages. Basically, we've been flying lots of other drones that basically we've purchased and taken a look at. But this we bought back in Bulgaria, and it's a great drone, but I think it just doesn't excite people enough, maybe because it just kind of works and does a good job, and I think the temptation is to get the cheaper drones and see if they can match up, which they probably can't really. We've got a new little innovation. I've got the landing pad back out. I've bought a set of padlocks. This is an example padlock here. Basically can be bought from any B&M or DIY store. Basically, we're going to use that to try and weigh down the pad. I had a pack of 4, so basically, hopefully that will weigh down the pad enough that we can use it in the park area. So basically what I want to do, check my settings. I'm in 4K HDR, 30 frames a second. This drone is capable of 4K 60 frames a second. But I don't think it does HDR in 60 frames a second, but actually we're not too bothered about that because our camera records in 30 frames a second, so it's actually quite advantageous for us to have that set in the 30 frames. So I've started the recording. You don't really need 60 frames a second. It's kind of good for slowing footage down, and it might look a little bit smoother, but generally 30 frames is fine. Looks like everything's good with the drone. Takeoff's permitted, so let's give it a go. Hold down on the thing. There we go. Very graceful drone. Very graceful drone. And so I drop the camera down a bit. Check everything's working. Yeah, it's basically noticing me on the. But basically, it's a very graceful drone. It basically kind of floats nicely in the air. They position themselves absolutely perfectly, these drones. They're brilliant. It'll beep because I'm nearby. But yeah, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Just check the view screen. I think, yeah, you can see that quite well. But you can see it's a very graceful drone. It just sits perfectly in the air. It's a perfect little drone, really. It's probably one of the best drones on the market. You're just not going to get that kind of stability from the cheaper drones. So what we'll do is we'll take it up and away. Yeah, so I mainly wanted to try out the new landing pad idea, but because we've got precision landing, I believe, on this drone. So let me just check that I've got in the settings. Let's just see what we've got here. Basically, it hasn't reset. I did an update of the firmware. It hasn't reset my settings, so that's good. Right, okay. I'm not seeing anything about intelligent landing. I've got a feeling you've got to select it when it takes off. So that probably is why I'm not seeing any settings about it. And of course, I always forget. Sorry, I'm in the middle of something. Right, so basically, let's take a look and see where we are. See what settings we can deal with. No, I'm not seeing anything about intelligent landing. So let's see how we get on. But basically, I think it should be fine. I think it will land roughly where it should do. Anyway, we've took it up. Let's go and have a look around. Probably pick the camera back up again. If I pick the right direction. Yeah, lovely sunny day today. Everything's looking good. So basically, we're doing well. I'm going to fly out over there, over around the park. Quite difficult to see. Again, this is the issue when you've got sun. It's very hard to see on the screen when you've got sunglasses on. what's going on the drone. So it's kind of a mixed blessing, really. You enjoy having sunny weather, but you end up with very sort of difficult job to see what's going on. So just flying out over the park, hopefully height is good. This drone has obstacle avoidance as well, so that's one of the main benefits of it. Basically it does basically it does have obstacle avoidance, so it hopefully wouldn't hit big objects like trees and things like that. Hopefully it should slow down when it's coming up to it, or you can set it to bypass as well. But yeah, it's basically flying no problems. Yeah, we're doing well. Very good drone. You know, I think, like I said before, the thing with the Mavic Air 2 is, you know, it's not the cheapest drone, but you get a lot for your money. It's very, very reliable. You can rely on it. Basically, it'll go off, it'll do what it's got to do, it'll get really good footage. You know, yes, it costs a little bit more money, but I think, you know, you're going to get the benefit of it being a bit more expensive. You'll get the obstacle avoidance sensors, you'll get really good camera on it. You know, it's worth its money, I think. That's what you got to say about it. You know, we forget to get it out. We kind of get out all the other drones like the FPV, like the Hubs and Xenos. I mean, the FPV is probably the most popular drone that we fly. But the reality is that this drone is kind of not as popular. I mean, I think sales-wise it's probably as popular, but you know, for YouTube videos, it's not as popular. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's because it's reliable. I think it's because it's just no nonsense. It gets the job done. It gets out. It flies. It gets really good footage. It has really good features. It's sort of an all-in-one package, really. I think the only thing we're missing on this drone really is waypoints, because it uses the same app as the Mavic Mini, Mini 2 as well, and it basically, yeah, it just doesn't have the, you know, it doesn't have those features like waypoints that you get in the DJI Go app, which you can't use this with, which is a shame. You know, I think that's the only thing you get with some of the DJI drones, is that they're probably capable of more when they're the cheaper model, but they kind of hobble it. Right, so anyway, basically I want to try something out. So I want to try the fixed wing mode, I think. Just want to try that out, see if I can find it in here. We got it in here somewhere we have. Control, here we go. Yeah, I just want to try something different. Here we go. So you got FPV mode, and basically that should sort of, you know, make it fly more like a plane, I think. So let's just see what that looks like. So let's have a go. So turn that setting on. Yeah, it's just a no-nonsense drone, really. Right, yeah, here we go. So as you basically, now as I turn, the gimbal won't be locked in place. So what's great about these drones is they have like 3-axis gimbals. So any drone with a 3-axis gimbal will kind of keep the camera footage steady. So the drone could be swaying around and doing anything you want in the air. But basically the gimbal kind of compensates for the movement and gives you a better picture. So it looks like you're totally static almost, you know, hovering, when you're not. You're kind of swinging around. So, but yeah, as you can see, when you put it in FPV mode, it looks a bit more kind of like an aircraft, like a plane, and look, you know, it just flies around really well and it's quite cool. But yeah, as you can see, that works out really well, and it basically, yeah, it feels like you're flying a plane rather than a drone. So look at that. Now the drone itself has not changed at all. You know, it's flying exactly the same way. It's not like it's gone into some crazy mode. What's happening is the camera is just not compensating anymore for the movement. The only thing with this is the footage can kind of induce, you know, headaches. So you know, it's a bit of a, yeah, it's not great for that. I think. But yeah, basically you can see that it you know, it looks a bit crazy, but it's a cool feature. And actually it's the first time I tried it out. But yeah, basically not many people use it, so yeah, it's quite cool, but it's not, you know, not brilliant, but you know, it's worth trying it out. There was a bit of an issue on the Mavic Mini, I think, with that mode, in that it kind of was shaking all over the place a bit, and they've done a recent update on it. But yeah, basically, yeah, that's all good. So what I might do is get it to return to home now by pressing the return to home button.
Go home.
And then what I want to do is I want to see if it will land on this pad perfectly. It may not. I don't know if I've got it turned on. But what I want to do is I'll let it land, and then I'll see if I can definitely turn it on for the next takeoff and landing, so we'll see. But my plan is that, well, it's not really a windy day either, so it's not massively windy, so it's probably not going to go anywhere, this pad, anyway. So we could have done with a windier day in a way, but actually I think it should land on it pretty comfortably, but we'll see. I mean, it's a pretty good drone. It's not, you know, it's got good sort of stuff in it, so it should basically be able to detect that pad and land on it. But I don't know if I've got the intelligent landing, because basically I think civilian GPS is only sort of accurate to within so many meters, and they use like kind of photography. You know, they take picture of the as it takes off. It will look at where it's taken off from, and then it kind of tries to work out like where it's got to land again. So I don't think it's got like military grade GPS or something. It's not like getting within a millimeter or something of the pad based on the GPS. So right, should be coming back over us now somewhere. Yeah, it's up in the sky there. I don't know if it's going to land on the pad or not, so let's drop the camera down. Let's see if we can get it to come back down somewhere near the pad. So we've got like an audience today. It's sunny, so it brings people out to play football and stuff, which is good, because I managed to get in here before anyone else. Because I was kind of surprised that we made it in here. But yeah, it's coming down. I think it should land well on the pad. It almost looks like it's trying to get bang on, so I think it's going to do it. I think it's going to go bang on that pad. Yeah, it picks the camera up for you automatically, so I think it's going to go in there. Yay! Yeah, so that's really good. Basically, those padlocks have worked. It hasn't. I was worried it could blow the pad everywhere, but it hasn't, because the padlocks are holding it down really well. And I think basically now we can do another takeoff. But before I was using things like batteries and I don't know, like something like Emily's baby wipes to hold the pad down. And of course, when you've got low profile drones like this, where the propellers are low to the landing pad, you can cause a problem. So let's do another takeoff. Let's see. Well, I'll take off on the app this time. Hang on, here we go. Yeah. Do the takeoff, and it should go up. Yeah, I didn't see any options on there. I didn't see any options to do like takeoff basically with precision landing, which on the Mavic Pro it kind of asks you if you want precision landing when it takes off. I didn't see any set in there as I was taking off, so maybe it's my vision on the screen. But maybe we can have a little play with the optical. Sorry, not the optical. Maybe we can try some of the motion stuff out. So hang on, I want to bring it down a bit more. Go forward. I want to bring it. Hang on. Just making sure I'm pushing all the wrong controls here. Hang on. Right, turning it towards me. Drop the camera down. Yeah, I'm on it. Right, now the great thing is active track. You literally draw it on. So if you tap on active track. Oh yeah, you got to click skip on that. Yeah, close it. It's annoying. Don't know why. Oh right, it's picked me up straight away. So basically, hang on. What does Spotlight do? I want active track really. Trace. Go. Right, here we go. So let's see what it does now. Now don't forget, this has optical. This has all sort of obstacle avoidance sensors. So it should follow me round. I think basically I should be able to go round and round and round, and it will follow me, and it should follow me towards, and it's got obstacle avoidance. I don't think it's as good as the I don't think it's as good as the Skydio, but it's kind of like, it's decent enough. Oh, this park's filling up filling up with people. They're not quite near us, but people are starting to, basically, it's once in a millennium, or maybe every couple of 100 years we get a bit of sun in the UK, and you know, people think it's like beach day or something, so they all get out to the park, to the beach, anywhere really that's got any kind of sun. So basically, yeah, so hopefully that's high enough to go over the, yeah, just about. Yeah, so it's walking around, it's following me, no problem. Hopefully it won't hit anything. It should be sort of spinning around, and can you kind of send it to the front? I don't know, you can't really do anything like that, can you? What does parallel do? So I think that will follow alongside you, will it? It's not quite as intelligent as the, yeah, it's not quite as intelligent as the Skydio there. The Skydio really, like, will intelligently follow you, so. But yeah, it's doing all right. It was beeping about something. Don't know what it's beeping about. One thing to be careful, oh, it went down. It basically realized that the basketball hoop was behind it, and it lowered itself and kind of went through, which is quite cool. I don't know what's gonna, if I try and go through this fence again, what will it do? I'm a bit nervous now. So I'm gonna be ready to do something like push it up, but it's following me, and I'm a little, ooh, it saw it. Will it bypass it? Will it bypass? No, it really doesn't like that. Ooh. I'm gonna have to, yeah, it's not quite as sort of clever as the Skydio. There was a real chance that it was gonna try and hit the bars then. I think it saw the obstacle, so I think it would probably stop and actually sort of make sure that it didn't hit it. But, you know, I think it would have just got stuck there, and it wouldn't have basically done any more then, and it wouldn't have gone anywhere else. So, you know, I think that's probably okay. I wouldn't trust it as much as the Skydio though. Skydio would have worked its way over or around. That one was almost looking like it was going to, the Air 2, but it didn't. So yeah, so it's kind of following us. You know, I mean, you can get them to track, you can get it to track people as well. So I could track those kids over there with a ball, but I don't really want to, because I think it would, I just don't think, like Skydio, it would be as good as having a, whoa, really flew back then. Really flew back towards that tree, and that was worrying me a bit. Hang on, I'm going to bring it forward, because that was definitely, it's swinging around a bit wildly. And although it has obstacle avoidance, it's only at the front and the back. It doesn't have obstacle avoidance around the sides. So I think if it flew along, it would kind of just hit that tree, and that'd be that. So I think you still have to be mindful. It's not like the Skydio. The Skydio would see that tree, and you'd hope it would stop. I mean, some people have posted in the comments that they had issues with the Skydio. I haven't had them myself, but yeah, basically the Skydio seemed pretty good even with thin branches. But I have heard that thin branches, and that's kind of the get out clause, that if you hit thin branches, they'll say, oh yeah, it doesn't cover thin branches. So that makes sense. So yeah, it's working. You know, it's doing its job. Let's come out of that. Right, I think we'll try and stop tracking me now. Still recording as well, which is really cool. You know, it will do. So, right, what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to go into the, right, so I have to stop the recording, and I have to go into the quick shots menu, and I want to try and do a Dronie. So I'm going to do that. Right, I'm going to set it up to, like, I don't know, 45 meters. Let's do that. Okay, right, so you can tap on the subject as well, which is really good. And basically this is that cool sort of feature when you're on a beach. It's nice and sunny, so let's have a Dronie in the sun. Hey, see you later, sort of thing. Yeah, we've all seen the videos. But basically, yeah, it's pretty cool. Does a Dronie away, all goes off, brilliant. So really happy with that. Bird sort of flying beneath it, hopefully that's not after it. Yeah, it does that. Oh, do you know what? It's done it in 1080p. So I had this with the Mavic Mini. The settings had it by default 1080p 30 frames a second. So hang on a second. I'm gonna redo that. I'm gonna redo that in 4K. So hang on, when this comes back, I just want to go, I want to go back into the settings here, because I think basically, no, how do we do it again? I remember I did it the other day. I did it the other day. There is a setting basically for, yeah, there we go, 4K, right? So that now should, right, so now we'll do the Dronie again. It's kind of turned itself a bit. Oh, that's right, I want to point it back at me. You tap on yourself, look, I want to do that. We're now in 4K 30. 3, 2, 1, and away. Hey! So, it'll go away, and basically that is annoying because it was set to 1080p. I found that before with the, yeah, I found that with the Mavic Mini and the Mini 2, I think, maybe even the Mini 2. I don't know if the Mavic Mini ever did it, but basically it defaults to 1080p for some weird reason. I don't know why DJI do that, but basically it's set to 1080p. But anyway, let's go back out of that. Let's go back into the normal mode, and then we'll turn on the camera again. But yeah, how are we doing for battery? We've got 37 minutes left, I think. Was it 37%? I'm never sure. Yeah, so it's been going about 10 minutes, hasn't it? But yeah, basically, it's got some cool features, this drone. So, they're very similar. A lot of things are similar to the Mavic Mini 2, apart from, you've got stuff like, what have you got? You got stuff like losing my train of thought there. Yeah, you've got stuff like active track and stuff like that, which you don't get with the Mavic Mini 2. But it does a lot of the other stuff like circle and, Dronies, quick shots that are quite cool. So the thing is, we haven't really got like a landmark that we can circle around here. So just trying to find, oh yeah, maybe, hang on, you got like a building there. So you could probably go forward to the building and then see what we can do, and maybe we can circle that. And there's a really cool feature basically that you've got with the, yeah, I probably went a bit close there, but you can come up, so I'm gonna have to stop the recording again. It always makes it difficult for editing actually, because you've got to come in and out of the video. Yeah, so I'll set circle. How do I come out of that? Right, and now I can basically say that building, oh hang on, well, I don't want to turn it off. It should make it red or something to say come off it. 3. Right, so now it's going to go round that building. It should circle it, and it's doing it quite slowly. I think you can probably speed it up. Yeah, I've probably set it to like too lower. Maybe I can, hang on. Yeah, because I used a control stick. Right, hang on. So let's do that again. How do you do the speed for it? I don't think I can't see the settings for that. Usually you've got like an option when you do things to set it. Anyway, I don't know where the setting is for that at the moment. I'm sure there must be a setting somewhere that says do it at this speed. But he didn't like it when I tried to use the control stick, so it'll kind of just circle that now. Hopefully I've got it above everything. I should be above everything. Hopefully now it'll basically circle that kind of, I think it's a bowling, I don't know, it's like lawn bowling, I think, sort of building. I don't know exactly. It's like a clubhouse, I suppose. Yeah, so it's circling that. Hopefully there's nothing, obviously there's not much of a view of it because there's trees around it. But yeah, normally you'd circle the Eiffel Tower or something. It's difficult because we don't really have that here. So you know, but if you're on holiday and there's a nice landmark, you can circle round, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's going round, no problem. Yeah, look, there we go. Actually, that's a countdown, isn't it? The battery's counting down, so we're at 26%. Yeah, I wasn't looking at that carefully before. But yeah, look, circling the building, looks like all right building, doesn't it? Don't know what the footage will come out like. But yeah, you've got some good features on this drone, really. So yeah, so right, let's get it to return home again. I'll get back into video, and you've got good footage on this drone because it's 4K, it's in HDR, so you know it's get good dynamic range on it. So right, so here we go, return to home. It will offer you to land. I'm always nervous when I see the land option there. I don't really like it because I kind of think if you accidentally go on land, especially with your sunglasses on, you'll just land wherever, so then you've got to hope you can take off again. So I'd prefer really a lot of distance between those two options. In fact, I don't really know why you'd want that option at all, but you know. Right, let's drop it down the camera again and let's see if it gets anywhere near this pad again. It seemed to, when it was coming down last time, it was definitely looking for that pad. So I'm guessing the intelligent landing, the precision landing is very sort of built into the drone, and I think that it's kind of, you know, unlike the Mavic Pro, which gives you options, I think this is more like we are going to intelligently land. It just took away the option. Not that intelligent this time. It's missed it by a bit actually. Yeah, about, I don't know, 60 centimeters away. That's a shame, never mind. Definitely got it right last time, so maybe very rare. There must be a setting somewhere. I've looked for it, I haven't found it. I've seen it on forums that it does have it, but every time I take it out, I kind of forget to look for it. So, but yeah, you know, it's doing well. You know, basically I'll show you on the camera, like basically the drone, you know, because I didn't show you when I took off. But there we go. That's what you get if you get one of these. And that's the kind of experience you'll get. And I just think it's one of the best drones on the market for the money as well. And you're bound to be able to, you know, because of its popularity, you're bound to be able to find a good deal on it. You find it on eBay or Amazon or somewhere, you're bound to find it cheaper than the retail price. We certainly got this cheaper than retail price, and that was in Bulgaria, and that's not a place that's known for things basically being cheaper than retail price. So we bought it from a shop. It was on a good offer. We got it. We were really happy with it. So yeah, hopefully that's useful to you. Hopefully the padlock idea might be something that you could think about if you're going to film from concrete instead of on grass. To be honest, I don't like the sticking down of the pad anyway with the kind of yellow pegs. They get mud everywhere. I don't know, probably like an OCD type thing with me, but it gets muddy. I prefer the concrete and the padlocks, although they are a lot heavier, so not as nice to carry around. But hopefully that's useful to you. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the weather a bit more than usual, and hopefully one day we'll be outside the park and maybe somewhere else again. But thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe, please like, please share to your friends. We'll see you again in the next one.